Let's vibe, let's roll, let's get it. Whoa, shawty showing out, throwing on the dance floor. Fashion killer, huh? You don't give a fuck what a nigga gotta say or a bitch what?
Hey you guys, it's Naimahrae and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the fam because we stay litty over here. You feel me? And if you're a returning viewer, hi, how are you guys doing on this lovely day? As you guys can tell by the title of this video, I'm gonna be telling you guys about how I just recently got into a hit and run. Yay! I actually talked about this briefly in my last vlog and how I was going to upload a story time on it. So here is the story time for it. If you haven't seen my last vlog, I will link it up there and down below for your convenience. Before I get into the video, I do want to say, if you guys hear loud noises, banging, beeping, any of that nature, they're finally doing something with the building that burned down next to me. So like, excuse the background noise because it can get a little rowdy out there, okay? But yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the story. So I just want to preface this by saying that Ty and I actually had a really great day that day that I vlogged. Like, we went to IKEA, we had a nice little dinner, we went, dang, where did we go? Why did we go over there? I don't know. We kind of just like drove around Atlanta a little bit and we didn't want to go home, and we were kind of just looking at places that like sold like home decor and home stuff because, like, you know, we're excited, we're moving, like we're like, yeah, let's, like, you know, our finances is getting together, so we're like, okay, cool, let's like look for stuff for our apartment, you know what I'm saying, like any other normal human being would. So our day was actually really great. It was really good. But I remember I was talking to Ty while we were eating, and he was like, yeah, I've just had this really weird feeling that something is gonna happen. And I was like, don't say that, and blah, 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 blah. But I told him, I was like, you know, I feel you though, because like I've been having the same feeling. Okay, I cannot make this up, y'all. Like, I'm a very intuitive person. Sometimes it scares me. I be thinking I'm psychic sometimes, like, I don't know. But I was just like, I've had this uneasy feeling for weeks, and I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, like something's wrong with the apartment. Like, what if something's, like, I've been like really like stressed and like freaking myself out, and people have been like, Naimah, like, calm down, like you got the apartment, like what are you doing, what are you doing? And I'm just like, you guys, I don't know, I just want everything to go smoothly. I feel like I need to tell y'all that. So we get done eating and I was like, oh, I want to go to Target. Earlier that day we had also already went to Target, but I just wanted to go to a Target that I knew where stuff was at, because that Target was just overwhelming. It had a lot of stuff and I couldn't find what I needed. So I was like, oh, can we go to Target again? Because I really want to go to Target so I could get, I think it was like some no-show socks or something. Anyways, which I still haven't got, by the way. So we're like getting to where we need to go, getting to Target or whatever, and traffic is like kind of bad. It's like rush hour in Atlanta. Now, if you know, you know. We are driving, right? Y'all, we are driving and we go in the left lane to make a turn because we're trying to make a turn, right? So this is us, right? We're on a 2-lane road, technically 3 if you include the left lane. So anyways, we're driving and there's 2 lanes right here. So this is us, this is 2 lanes filled with cars because like traffic was like heavy. And so we're driving and there's a car trying to cut through to make a left turn. So this is the other car, right? So we see the other car, like last minute we stop like kind of hard, but we was kind of in the way anyway. And we stop, we see them, they stop, right? This is what we was looking like. They would stop, we would stop, everybody would stop. For like a split second. It was literally like a split second stop. And then like we go, because obviously we had the right of way, like you're cutting through 2 lanes of traffic, like what are you doing? Anyways, so they was sitting here like this, so we was gonna go because there was nobody in front of us, like we had the right of way, let's go ahead and get out the way. So we decided to go, and I don't know if they changed their mind. I don't know if they thought that their big pickup truck could clear, because you can't clear. You're a pickup truck. You do not drive a small car. You are not in a Kia Soul. You are not in a Cube. You are not in one of them little smart cars. You are in a pickup truck. A pickup truck. So I guess as soon as we went, they decided to go, and they said, boom, right into the back of my car, y'all. Right into the back of my car. Oh. And I just remember when we almost, like, when we both stopped at the same time, I remember when we saw them, like, Ty had slammed on the brakes, but I know we were, like, way past the point where it was like, okay, just go ahead and let us go, because I looked out my window and I remember just seeing their front bumper, like, right in my face, and I was like, oh shoot, there's a car right there. And then I just remember feeling, like, the impact, and we went, whoop, like, to the side, because they hit the back of my car. I'll insert some pictures of how bad it was, because instantly, like, all I could think about was, oh my gosh, my car. Like, I literally did that. Like, I was like, my car, my car, my car. I know what y'all thinking, Naimah, you should have been looking for plates. Y'all, I was distraught, okay? One, I've never been in a car accident, so this was very new for me. Two, I just got that car. I just got that car. Just got it. Just got it. Okay, well, maybe not like fresh, just got it, but it's only like 2 years old, okay? It's only 2 years old. I just got her a new set of tires last year. Like, you know, I've been taking real good care of her, whatever. And not only did I like recently get it, but I also paid cash for it, which I talked about this in my vlog. But for those of you who don't know, in 2020, pandemic year, fresh out of pandemic, you know, they was handing out money or whatever. Your girl managed to save up enough money to get a car. I had bought myself a cash car. That was my car. I own it. All of that. Okay, I own it. It's mine. No car note. I own it. Y'all, I was sick. I just go, my car, oh my gosh, my car. And I'm looking, because we had the windows rolled down, and I'm looking in the mirror behind us, and I'm looking at my bumper, like, sticking out. I'm looking at the scratch on the back door. I'm looking, and I'm seeing, like, smoke kind of coming from the car. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm, like, freaking out on the inside. And so I remember I told Ty, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm gonna call 911. He was like, yeah, you need to do that. So I called 911. Y'all, why was I on hold for like a solid like 15, 20-ish minutes? Thank God nobody was injured. And they was like, oh, please don't hang up. Your call is in the queue or whatever. Now, if y'all watch my other story time, I think it was the last story time I did on my channel about the fire, they also was talking about how they was going to transfer me. And I'm just like, bro, like, if there is an emergency, we would be screwed. Like, we would be screwed, because I was on hold for probably like 15 minutes. Finally, somebody answers, and I was like, yeah, somebody just hit my car, and they kept going. I actually didn't know they kept going. I thought the car that was behind us was the car that hit us at first. And then I realized it wasn't, like, kind of after the fact. And Ty was like, that's not them. Like, they kept going. I was like, they kept going? And so I was explaining to the lady, like, oh, yeah, we're just going to pull over, like, to the side, like, by this intersection. So, like, until you guys get here. And she was like, okay, we'll send somebody out or blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, cool. So I had off the phone with the police. We finally pull over to the side, and a guy, we're gonna call him Dylan. I never got his real name. I hope that's not his real name. So yeah, we're gonna call him Dylan. He pulls over with us, and he's like, hey, I saw the whole thing happen. He was like, it was a red pickup truck, Nissan, blah, blah, blah. Like, he had all the details, all the descriptions. He's like, yeah, I saw them. They just hit y'all. And then, you know, I was trying to get their plates, but they just went speeding down in the opposite direction, because we was going this way and they was going this way. So it was difficult for all of us to, like, try to look back and see their plates without injuring anybody else. So damaging somebody else's car. So he's telling us all what happened. He's like, yeah, and it was so-and-so driving. It was two guys, blah, 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 and this and that. And I'm just like, my car. So pretty much after he gives us like a description of what happened or whatever, I call my mom, I call my sister, I call my dad, I call everybody, because I was just distraught and I didn't know what to do, because like I said before, I've never been in a car accident. I know you're supposed to call your insurance company, but usually you do that with the other person. Y'all exchange info and y'all do that, right? But there was no other person for me to do that with. There was no other person. So I'm standing there and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. My mom was like, well, call them and see if they can do anything, because, okay, so I learned a lot about insurance. I'm very fully educated on insurance now, and I've learned my lesson, and that is that. I have insurance. Let me clarify that. I have insurance, but I only have liability, and apparently, like, well, I knew what liability was, but it's like, they pretty much was telling me, like, I called them and they couldn't do anything. So I was just like, okay, because it's just so much that goes into it that I didn't know about, and it's just like, y'all, look, okay, this, pause the story time for a second. If you have a car or you are looking into getting a car and you're my age, or like you're just young in general, like, you guys, one, really explore your insurance options, and two, like, make sure you do your research. And if you're confused about something, make sure you ask questions and all that other stuff, because I just learned a lot about insurance that I didn't know about. Mostly because my sister, she also explained to me that she had been in a hit and run before and how the insurance for it works and everything. And I was like, oh, it was like a lot of stuff that I just didn't know. So do your research, just a little fun fact. But anyways, back to the story. I'm standing there, and after I get off the phone with my insurance company and they're like, there's nothing that they could do, I'm just like, okay. So we wait 40 minutes for the police to come. They finally come, and he pretty much tells us like, oh, did you get the plates? Oh, well, there's nothing we could do if you don't have any plates. And we're just like, what do you mean there's nothing that you could do? And so Ty's like, well, they was pulling out from that gas station over there. Like, can you go over there and like check the cameras, get the camera footage, and get the plates there? Well, I have to go through corporate to do that. Sorry, what? Then why are you here? What are you here for? I waited 40 minutes for you to tell me that you can't even do nothing. Nothing at all. I was so upset. So upset. Mind you, while we sitting here with the car, we got the flashers on, right? Like the little the emergency lights on, because hello, this is like, I just don't want people to think that I pulled over to the side for no reason. Like, it's an emergency, like, help me. We ended up having to turn them off because the car started acting crazy. And by crazy, I mean the lights was flashing. It was like glitching or something. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I hope everything's okay. I don't think much of it. I let it go or whatever. The police officer is like, well, do you guys have a way to get home? And I'm like, yeah, like, I called a tow truck and he's on his way and blah, blah, blah. Before the tow truck got there, we wanted to roll up the windows because it was starting to, like, the sun was setting. And since it's fall, it was starting to get a little chilly outside. I'm like, okay, let's roll up the windows because there's a lot of bugs outside and stuff. So we go to roll up the windows roll up, but guess what, y'all? The car don't start. It do not start, y'all. It don't start. I was stressed. I was so stressed. The car was not starting. But we gonna get to that in a minute. And I was just like, you know what? It's fine. The tow truck don't need to start it. He just need to get on the truck, right? So I'm like, the tow truck is coming anyway. He can jump it when he gets here or whatever. So the tow truck guy finally gets there, and he tows the truck back to my apartment complex. And the only reason why I had to get it towed, which I know I inserted one picture, but I'll insert another one of like what the tire looked like. The piece that had got hit was like digging into the tire, and if we would have hit a pothole, we would have had a mean blowout. So we just was not taking no chances. So the tow truck guy gets here, he finally gets it like situated or whatever, and he was like, they're probably gonna total this one out. Excuse me, sir? Excuse me? He was like, yeah, see, the problem is it'll probably cost more to fix it than what the car is worth, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah, that's done for. He just kept going on and on and on about how the car was done for. It was totaled. You might as well just get a new car, blah, 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 blah. And I'm standing there and I'm just like, first of all, sir, now is not the time, because you got the right one right now. I'm already mad that somebody hit my car. Second of all, you're sitting here telling me my car is totaled. You are a tow truck person. You are not a mechanic. You do not work in a body shop. You tow cars and whatever else it is that you do. I didn't ask for your unsolicited advice. I didn't. And I was low key. He just kept saying, yeah, you know, this, da, da, da. And I was just like, I don't want to hear this right now. I literally remember I looked at him and I had said something, and my face should have told him, like, okay, maybe I should stop talking. But he wasn't getting it. He was not getting it. Needless to say, guys, I ended up spending all weekend trying to figure out how I could get my car fixed and how I could get it mobile again. Turns out the battery died from us having the flashers on, so I had to buy a new battery. Okay, that was a simple fix. I just thought at first that it wasn't starting because of like the accident, but that wasn't the case, so thank God. I ended up having to get a new battery, and some nice guy in my neighborhood, he helped us change the tire because we didn't have like the right, what's that thing? Like my little thing to like lift the car up, the jack to lift the car up was not it wasn't doing what it needed to do. It was not big enough. No, it didn't have the little, well, first of all, it's really small, which is odd to me. Two, it didn't have the little thing to like, once you get it like up in the air, it didn't have something to like help it like keep going, like to turn it up. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it's making sense, but somebody ended up helping us, so I really appreciate him. Shout out to him. If you happen to ever run across this video, I'm not gonna say his real name, but you know who you are, bro. You know who you are. Thank you. He had a really nice car too, so cool. He also helped us jump the car. After we jumped it, we went and got the new battery, blah, 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 blah. I spent the weekend getting quotes from everybody, or at least trying to get quotes. But guess what, guys? Body shops are closed on the weekends, which I was so sick about. Oh my God, I was so sick. So then I ended up, my aunt referred this guy to help us at least get like the dent off of like the tire. So like when I drive, it wouldn't dig into the tire. I was able to drive because the donut was on it. With the donut, it was obviously significantly smaller than the tire. So I was able to drive just to get around to point A to point B and to work and all that. So that's what happened. The guy came out. He was able to get like the dent out like a little bit, so it doesn't look as bad. It still looks bad, but it's drivable. He also was able to get my back door open. It doesn't open from the outside anymore because it's jammed, but on the inside, like, you could open it. So there's that. But needless to say, that is everything that happened. I am okay. Ty is okay, and we're very grateful that we are okay. I have a very much more heightened awareness when I drive now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little traumatized. I'm being very honest. I can't make this up. Like, it sucks because it's like I'm a safe driver, but now I gotta worry about everybody else around me. And you know, there just be a lot of traffic sometimes. And now, like, when there's too many cars on the road, I get a little anxious. Like, I'm just very aware. We don't even play music in the car when we drive anymore. Like, it's definitely very fresh, but this also happened literally like almost a week ago at this point. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on with that. We're okay. Everybody's okay. The car still moves. It still works. It just has a very ugly dent on the back of it, but Lil Hamdi, she hanging in there, okay? She is hanging in there, and we love her for it, okay? Shout outs to them, okay? Get you a Honda. Hondas are good cars, guys. I'm trying to tell you. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media, which is always in the description box down below. And make sure you guys are safe out here on the road, because you just never know. I've literally encountered so many people, like what I explained, like, oh yeah, I got in a hit and run. So many people have been like, yeah, that happened to me before. Y'all, it should not be this common. It should not be this common. Like, if you hit somebody's car, stop. Okay? And make sure you guys drive safe out here, because it's crazy. But next week, another movie vlog, and I will see you guys then. Okay, bye guys.
I want a chick that grind on a 9 to 5. Oh, she in them college books trying to get a rise. But tonight, I'm just trying to have a good time.